All right, welcome back to the third and final topic of this episode of the Deep Dive, and we were just laughing briefly about this
laugh all the
topic.
time.
We do, because we like to have a
Yeah.
good time. And
I feel like our conversations in between the breaks are worth the
yeah, it's true, actually. And completely unstructured, ridiculous commentary on our lives. That's
Yes.
fine. And so, yeah, the last one, I think is going to be funny, because I think anyone listening to this topic is going to be like, actually, I have something to say about that, which is that video recording should be banned at music/concert venues. So, you have something to share.
Okay.
Share first, and I'll go after.
Okay, I will start. First of all, it used to be. Remember, there was many places you could go to. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the day because I'm in my 40s right now, so I can say that. Back in my time, there was actually posters that said you cannot video recording and audio, whatever the case, audio is all banned. And I think it should still be that way because as a thespian, I'm very. Hey, I studied it in school.
Sure.
It's very. I said thespian. Okay, pay
Yep.
attention.
I know.
I think it's very important when you are at a performance, especially like a live venue, whether it be like theater or someone's concert. I want to experience that entire thing, all of my senses, focused on this thing I paid money for. For example, normally a pretty penny to see some of these shows too when you get really good seats. I don't want to be, and this now goes back into our cell phone situations and internet situations. I don't want to be all of a sudden, oh my God, this is a great performance. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn away, reach into my purse, miss something, come back, be like, I'm going to now watch it through a screen because I'm filming as opposed to actually enjoying it. And then, what am I doing with this video? Hey guys, look what you missed. Watch this 2-hour video of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat or whatever. Watch this really cool like acrobatic move.
Yeah.
Where it's like they could have just bought a ticket and gone with me. I saw something one time. I think I was watching. I don't even know where I saw some social media app, and I was at a fireworks show, and I was gonna film it. And I was like, well, what am I gonna do with this fireworks video after? Like, hey guys, I was in Hawaii and there's a fireworks show on the beach. Come watch this. Said no one ever. 5 years from now, I'm like, man, that was a great fireworks show back in 2018. Am I really gonna revisit this video? Like, it takes some space on my phone, but that's nonsense. Okay? There's certain things you should record, but I just feel like certain things. When you are at a music or a concert venue, I think it's almost disrespectful too. Because then sometimes you have a light that's blinding, I don't know, Mick Jagger, who knows? And then everyone now is like looking at the concert through all the 500 phones that are in front of me. So obviously you can see I'm a little bit cheesed about it because it's happened where I've been to an event and all of a sudden it's just nothing but cell phones the whole time. And no one's really actually enjoying the experience like we used to back in the day. But I digress.
No, you obviously have no strong feelings about that either way. But honestly, I think that you have an opinion that's probably very similar to people's immediate reaction to that type of, question, right? Should they be banned? And I think that, so right off the bat, I do agree with you. But I think I understand why people do it. Like, I know that in some sense, there's a desire to capture something that they feel is incredible happening right now, and they're like, well, this is so good, rather than be immersed in it, which is what probably you and I would do, because this is a moment that you cannot replicate right now, and breaking away from the engagement in some way has disrupted the moment, right, that you cannot capture again. And they think, well, I'm going to capture it for later so it can be enjoyed later, right? Unless you're, socially obsessed and you really want to posture to people that you were somewhere that they weren't. But that says things about you that probably we dare not speculate about. But the thing is that, that's I think why people are doing it. So I get it. Like, I get why you want to do it. But I think that there's been far too much pressure placed on people to demonstrate their value or status from a social angle through posting things on the internet. And so in some sense, recording it, even though you're breaking the immersiveness of the interaction, gives you social currency, right? And so it's a strategy that I think is being employed in order to, in some way, make people think you're more interesting than you. Maybe you are that interesting, but you certainly want them to know that you are. And so I get that, right? It's maybe a game, maybe it's a strategy, maybe it's a sign of the times. But it reminds me of a situation. So I've been a great many concerts in my life, And there's one moment I will never forget that happened at the Cool House in Toronto. And there was a band that was playing called In Flames. And they are from Sweden. And they are not a band that comes to Canada very often. And there was a break between songs they were playing. And, there he was just talking to the audience, the lead singer, Anders Frieden. And he noticed that there was one guy in the, audience filming him from like 10 feet away, right? And he looked at the guy, right at the guy, and he said, "Why are you filming me? I'm right here." Right?
Wow.
And the guy looked at him and he didn't know what to say. And what Anders was inferring was, I'm from Sweden and I came across an ocean to perform for you here, and you're a fan clearly. And instead of locking eyes with me as a human being from somewhere completely different than here, and us connecting in a way that you will not be able to capture in any meaningful way through videography or through a picture, you instead have chosen to interfere with that connection that you could have that might be very meaningful for you and for me, right? Because I can see that you like what I'm doing, and that I can see how much you like what I'm doing, right? And I'm valuable to you and in your eyes, and we're having this amazing moment, right? There's some electricity here, and instead you are preoccupied with cataloging it in some sense, in some sterile way that will never do justice to the real thing, right?
Wow, that's
And
deep.
it is, and that's so I agree with you, right? I don't know if I would use the word should be banned unless you mean from like a poetic sense or a philosophical sense,
No, because there are places where it is, and because it
Yes.
can be a distraction.
It
Literally,
can
if
be,
people
yes.
start, like if
The
you were
performers,
doing
yeah.
the performance, so if you
Yeah,
go, for
yeah.
example, to, I've been to the Avalon Theater in Niagara Falls,
Mm.
and they have a no filming policy, because again, if you start putting on flash and people are doing acrobats and you distract them with these lights, that can be very dangerous to the performers, for example. And it's also distraction. You pull out a phone, a blue light shows up, and it kind of annoys you. Even in movie theaters too. I went to a movie one time, and the person wanted to like film like the entire. It was a Marvel movie, so obviously there's like the post credit scene that everyone waits for. Well, I guess this person had to just film it because their friends must have missed it. So I'm watching the anchor, and all of a sudden a blue light distracted me because it's pitch black. And then a light comes out, and the person is now filming this, and it was annoying because, like, bro, like I paid money to be here, and now you're coming at me with this light in my eyes. It can be a little frustrating. And you know what's so funny? I'm actually quite guilty of doing this too. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Because, okay, and I'll tell you when I've done this.
Okay. This will be good.
Oh, I know. So let me just talk out of both sides of my mouth today. I'm not a fan in certain contexts where it says it's banned. Okay, clearly if you see the signs, no cell phone recording device, and you pull one out, you can't read. Let me help you out. I'm outside at a giant concert, and a very amazing band known as the Rolling Stones was playing up in Oro Medonte, you see.
Never
heard of them? I know.
Never heard
They're
of
very obscure. Like
Okay.
only like 2 people may have heard of who they are.
Is
So
this
they were-
another rock reference you're making?
Yeah,
Or
speaking
stuff-
of playing with rocks,
Gotcha,
yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
the Rolling Stones, har har, I just got that. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, so they were playing at a large outdoor venue, and I've never seen them before in my life. And I felt like this was going to be the last time they were ever going to tour. And unfortunately, yeah, they lost their drummer like kind of like a year after that, so they haven't been touring since. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I have to at least like film 1 or 2 songs. This is like the Rolling Stones.
A monumental event that needs to be captured.
Yeah, I know. And as much as I was in the moment too, I also made sure I took a picture because I was like, Mom, look, it was Mick Jagger. So I didn't stand there the whole time and film the entire concert, but there was like one particular song I had to split like the chorus. I was like, I got this. I got a picture of him, one of Keith Richards. I was like, oh my gosh. Even when Elton John, when he was doing his farewell, the first of the several farewell tours he had, he's like, my last show, my last. I had to be, I was like, okay, it's his last show. I have a ticket. I'm going to be there. I'm on the floor. And I took a picture, and I some of his songs I may film the chorus because like they're really great songs. I'm like, Mother, look. Elton John, like so close to him. Oprah Winfrey, when she came here for her Life Class tour in 2012, when she came out, I filmed her coming out just because the electricity in that room was unreal. And then the phone went away, but I was like, wow, it's Oprah Winfrey. What? So again, I can be guilty of it as well, but I feel as if because the option exists, I'm going to take a picture or a video. But if it said it was banned, I'm not going to be, secret squirrel, like, I'll put it in between my sweater and open the button so I can still film it. That's kind of sus.
Okay, so how about this? Would it be reasonable to say that I can or how about this? Absolutely correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Okay.
Would it be fair to say that we can understand why someone would do it, and there may even be ways you could rationalize or justify doing it.
Yes.
But generally speaking, from a respect point of view for the performer, from the consideration of immersion of an experience that probably will not be replicated effectively with your documentation of it, would it be wise to, in some sense, break that type of immersion in that moment in time that is once in a lifetime so that you could document it? And is that going to be good for you in the long term?
But that's just it, you see. Because it's so once in a lifetime, I think the documentation is required. And you want to talk about things like that. I know it's not maybe off topic, but if I'm a photographer for National Geographic, I'm standing there watching these amazing animals in the safari, but I also got to go behind a camera lens and experience the same thing on this side because I have to document this once in a lifetime sort of an experience. So it kind of depends, I think, on the circumstance or situation.
I think you can justify it.
For sure.
I think you can.
But if it says for sure, if I see something that says cell phones are banned, please don't have any video recording, don't. I know that there have been some comedians that have called people out like, yo, what do you I've heard them call people out because people were like, do not film this. And then they're out there, look, oh, he can't see my phone, and they're filming it. So that's an example where if the rules are there, for sure. If you're going to document something for your own personal memory, I don't think anything's wrong with it. But I think if there's an actual ban at that particular venue, like I've seen at the Avalon, then don't be that person and try and break that ban. Or film the entire thing from behind your phone is also, I think, is the problem too, when you don't actually experience it live because you're like, oh my gosh, and so for 4 hours you stood here like this. That also doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, so I agree with you. You can absolutely justify it, right? I can be convinced of it. I think that for me, though, right? Like I just told you that story about me being at that concert, and I've been told that I'm a reasonably good storyteller, and so I didn't have to record that event for you to, or rather for me to have recanted it accurately to you, and for you to have seen how potent the message might be in it.
For sure.
Right?
I
didn't have to document that, right?
I lived the experience through your
Exactly,
storytelling.
right? And so as a result, maybe depending on how comfortable people are with their own ability to convey a story effectively or the emotions they experienced when something occurred, that might incline them more or less to document something. Or maybe it depends on how sentimental you are. Maybe you're someone that likes to go back to things and look at things that you've already done because you want to recall a certain time in your life or use it to share or spread joy to other people that may enjoy something like that. That's kind of a sentimental approach, and I generally don't tend to be that sentimental. I don't look back at things I've already done. I'm looking to do new things.
Okay, but see,
right?
So I think just when you create a memory like that and it's stored in these magical cell phone devices that are also surveilling you and everything else you'd called it. So I think it's cool because I know that for myself as a visual person, when I'm not saying I'm not a terrible storyteller. I'm not obviously Matt level storytelling, but
people have told me that. I'm not saying I am.
As I toot my own horn, when I try to retell a story, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me show you how close I was. Let me show you a video. Because a lot of people that I talk to are visual as well. So when I tell the story, as much as I'm animated and excited, like, oh my God, the Rolling Stones, I play with rocks. And I was like, let me show you one of my favorite videos. And then they'll be like, oh, that's so cool. It's creating a memory, and then now we've created kind of like a joint memory because they've seen the video and have the experience through my experience. So
yeah, it's like they're proxy experiencing it.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Also, good old rock. Nothing beats rock.
Nothing beats playing with rock.
So yeah, I would say it probably depends on the person. You can make the argument. Some places may choose to ban it. I personally wouldn't do it. But that's just how I roll. But I can see how other people could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like most things.
Like what?
Like most things, I guess, right? Depends on what it is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone can make an argument either way.
Fair enough.
But I mean, it just, I think, depends on circumstances.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Time for some rapid fire. Rapid fire.
I like it. Do you want to go first or me go first?
Okay, I go first.
Hit it.
Lo mein or fried rice?
Ooh. I've had excellent lo mein and excellent fried rice, but as a default, lo mein.
Oh my gosh, same thing.
Yeah.
I've had excellent both, but for me, lo mein.
Yeah, lo mein. Spray tan or suntan?
Says the person who is tanned all the time.
I was going to say.
I'll go with a natural tan. Okay, this is quite funny. No, I do prefer, if I obviously would go out in the sun, sit on a beach in Hawaii and get like bronze naturally.
Yeah. It's dark,
Yeah.
Okay.
You?
I mean, I am too. Yeah, I would rather.
Natural?
I don't believe. Yeah, but I'm kind of like an all natural kind of guy, anyways. I
Okay.
don't usually do like synthetic things or whatever, and I try myself to be like authentic and genuine.
Of
And
course.
so, getting out inside in the sunshine's good for you.
It
Vitamin
is.
D. It's
Vitamin
good for you.
D.
Get out there.
Chocolate covered cherries or chocolate covered raisins? Oh man, so easy.
Ooh, you know what? I will admit that I'm not a huge fan of either of those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I would say that the cherry's probably going to be
Okay.
the better one if I'm in the mood. But they're very sweet. A cherry's
Yeah.
a very substantial fruit. I don't know. If I'm
For
having
you-
just one, cherry. If I'm
Okay.
having a handful of some, raisins.
For me, it's all about these raisins. I used to eat them in the movie theater, Glossettes, all the time.
See, I would get the gloss that's peanuts though, or the caramels.
No raisins.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Gotta get that prune in there or whatever those are. Oh, grapes and prunes. What's wrong with me? I know vegetables and fruits. God. Cute, not bright. Continue.
Foot massage or back massage?
Back.
Why?
I don't know. I just find I have a lot of tension up here in the shoulders.
Fair
That's what
enough.
I do, I guess. I'd
Well, I
rather
mean,
just
when you
like-
carry the weight of your roller, right? You got.
right, I know. Plus
Yeah,
all those
some-
weights I lift, bro. So for me, for sure, I think it was back. You?
I'm gonna go with back massage as well.
Yeah.
For other reasons that I won't discuss.
Okay, headphones or earbuds?
Oh, headphones. Earbuds, I get. I totally understand the
Mhm.
utility of them. They're more practical when I'm at the gym. But generally speaking, if I'm listening to a musician or a band that has immersive music that's complex, that's rich, I want to be in the actual mood, in the music. I want to cover my whole ear.
100%.
Yeah.
Headphones definitely when you want to be submersive and
Yes.
when you do that.
Yeah.
Earbuds I use at my house only
Yeah.
when I'm multitasking. So what's that, mother? Leave my earphones in, and I'm there. And I'm cooking or I'm washing dishes. That way it's a lot easier.
Okay.
So functional, but other than that, I do have my nice Beats by Dre, bro.
Okay,
Okay, what?
that's it.
What?
It went by so quick.
Oh, sad face.
I know. It's okay, though. We have plenty many more we'll go through.
We sure do.
It's true.
And that concludes this episode of The Deep Dive
Absolutely. We will see you next time, and we will have more in-depth conversations.
about everyday topics.
Absolutely. See ya.
Bye.